Hello everyone and welcome back to Humble Acres. My name is Jordan and today we are working on this trailer finally. I have a few cars I need to go pick up and they're a long ways away along with some extra parts, and I'm really sick with dealing with the floor in this trailer. So we are going to rip this floor out, try to paint it, and put a new floor in it. That's kind of the goal. Also, if you remember from the video where I got the front end loader for the tractor for the John Deere here, the winch that was on here broke. So I took that off and took it back. I actually wanted to take it apart and look what was wrong, but I didn't want to risk them not taking it back because I opened it up. So I decided just to take it off, take it back. They gave me my money. Actually, they gave me store credit because it had been 6 months. So it's fine. I'll eventually... Be careful. It's fine because I'll eventually use the money, but at least I got my money back. So what I got to replace it is this. So this is the Harbor Freight Badlands winch. It has a 12,000 pound rating. I got this carrier for it, and you can just put it into a hitch receiver. It's quite a bit of overkill for a trailer. But the nice thing is it has a wireless remote and it has a cable so you can plug it in. And there's been some fairly good reviews on this. This is the synthetic rope version as well, because since I have to carry it, that actually makes it about 20 pounds lighter. So I thought that was a good idea. And I figured if I'm going this big of a winch, I want to be able to move it and not just use it on this trailer, because obviously if I'm spending that much on a winch, I don't want to just use it on the trailer, even though this is mostly where I'll probably use it. So this is what I replaced it with. Big overkill, but it should work really nice. Not quite sure how to start with this. We need to get these other two boards off of here that I put on top of the decking. Most of these boards are just so rotted they'll probably just break off. The other ones I'm probably gonna have to cut these flathead screws off. I guess we'll just get started and see where it takes us. And I got my little helper here too. Right, buddy?
Hi.
Alright, all the wood is off. Came off pretty easily. I broke a couple of the bolts. We need to get all the bolts out now. And probably just cut them all off, take them out. And then we need to wire wheel everything underneath where the boards are, and then we're gonna paint it black. And I got some just paint on Rust-Oleum, oil-based paint. It's good stuff. I've used it on quite a bit of things and it really holds up. So that's the plan. So let's cut all these off and then paint it. All of the bolts are out of the frame now, so now I just gotta get a wire wheel and go and try to get off all the rust scale and everything, and then get a coat of paint on it. It's coming along though. It's probably only been about an hour, so making some good headway for just a short amount of time. Alright, so I got everything kind of sanded down or wire brushed down pretty much as I'm going to. I've been working on this hitch up here. So this is what the winch is going to mount into. So I just went and bought this blank hitch receiver here and ground all this down. So I'm going to put this plate on here as a spacer, and then we're going to weld this right on here like so. And you might wonder why I have it seen back so far. So when the winch sits on here and plugs into this, the front of the winch is pretty much right at this bar here. And I didn't want to set this here and then have the winch hanging way out over the trailer, because then you kind of lose this space here. So I'm gonna mount it right there like that. And you might also wonder why I'm mounting it up so high. So the higher it is, the easier it is for the rope to not rub on the metal piece back there when it's pulling something on. So, and this was already on this trailer and it seemed welded on there pretty decent, so we're just going to use it. I did have to, it wasn't welded. There's like 2 plates right here and it wasn't welded in between the 2. It was only welded on the sides here. So I ground all that down and we're going to get that welded together there, and then we're going to put this on here and weld it on all the way around, and then get this on and weld it around here, and that should be plenty strong. It's a little past where the other weld is, but I mean, I guess if we bend it, we bend it, but that's going to take quite a bit of force. So I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, we can always fix it, but I think this will work for now. So I'm going to get that welded on there. We also need to weld back here a little bit. We need to weld this back together. For some reason, it came unwelded, so we're gonna weld that back on so it doesn't make that terrible noise all the time. We should be good to go. Always make sure you have your safety sandals on when you're welding. You want to make sure you get all those nice hot sparks right in your shoes. Yep, see, like that. And make sure you do that. So I'm gonna go weld that thing in the back real quick, and then we should be done with welding. We got this all welded up. Looks pretty decent. I'm not able to weld along the front because it interferes. It's actually a really tight fit in here for the winch, so got the back all welded. Seems like it should work just fine. And I got that back there welded as well. I think tomorrow I'll put the first coat of paint on this because it's almost 9 o'clock now and haven't had a break all day, so I'm very thirsty. I want to go inside and relax a little bit, so we'll see you in the morning. I want to test fit this winch in here first, make sure it doesn't hit where I welded there. So get this in here, see if it fits in here. That should be good. So yeah, you can see how I have this mounted up here. Just this pin goes through here, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, and you can also see how flush it is with the front here, so you can pull stuff really close up here if you need to. So I really like how that came out. And the other nice thing is too, the mount actually sits on this bar right here, so if there's ever a downforce when you're pulling, it's supported, so it's not depending all on this little hitch receiver back here. So that should be good too. All right, now I think Cooper's ready to paint.
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm gonna get the air compressor out and blow everything off and try to get as much dust and stuff off of here. And then we're gonna lay some paint down. Alright, we are making some progress here. I got painted all the way around the outside. I got the inside of the frame rails painted up here, back to the fenders. I still have to do back here. And we just have the middle supports that we need to paint. And the top here, the inside of the fenders we need to do still. But we're getting there. It just takes a long time. And yeah. So, gonna finish this up, all the paint, and then I think what I'm gonna do is actually leave, let this dry, and I'm gonna go get some wiring and stuff to put in because I really should probably redo that. I redid the rear lights and the wires that go across there a while ago because the lights just weren't working at all. But the wire going up to the front is in really poor shape. It's just really old and not flexible anymore. So this is a great time to do it, even though I don't really want to, just because it's a pain to do. So I hate wiring, but sometimes it just has to be done. I'm also not painting the underside of it because it's difficult to do. I'm getting all the stuff that I can see from the top, and then at a later point I can jack it up and do underneath if I want, but as of right now I'm just not going to do it. It's not a whole lot that's not getting painted, but I don't want to do that right now. And I can't get the ramps out either because they need to come out the side, but the shelf's there and I can't get them out, so I'm just going to leave those there anyway. I mean, paint's not going to stick on them anyway because they're sliding in and out of there all the time, so it's not a big deal. I think that's about it. So get this finished painted and then we'll do some wiring and then we can start getting the boards on. I did already get all the hardware and everything needed for this, so we should have all that. Actually wasn't very expensive. You could buy packs of bolts and nuts for pretty cheap actually. I was kind of surprised. Alright, everything is painted on this that I'm gonna paint. I got all the frame rails in and out, all done. Everything is looking good. I painted the axles really good too because those were pitting and I don't want those to break, obviously. So we got those painted up really good. Yeah, everything came out really nice. Alright, well I didn't really show taking this wheel off here, but I wanted to check the electric brakes because they're not working. They're not even hooked up to the front. So the bearings seem fine. I'm going to repack the bearings. So the pads look good. There's plenty of material left on there. All the hardware in here looks decent. Like, it's not really rusty or anything like that. The magnet here is kind of fallen off, but I took that off because I wanted to check everything out. But everything in here looks good. So I think I'm just going to put everything back together and then actually wire up these brakes because they're not actually wired up right now. Up at the front, this trailer for some reason only has a 4-prong plug on it, which it's supposed to have a 7-prong to be able to have the electric brakes hooked up. So I bought a 7-prong plug for it, so we're going to make sure all these brakes are hooked up. You don't see any wires over there because the wires actually go into the axle through the center and then come over here. So you can see there's kind of some wires here, but they're not hooked up to anything. I'm going to double check all of that, make sure they're hooked up and working, but I think we're just going to run them for now because replacing all the brakes on this is pretty expensive. And it's something that I can do later down the road if I need to. So we're going to kind of just get the wiring done real quick before we get the deck on, get the new 7-pin connector on there, so that's all good to go. And then we're going to start with the deck because we need to get this on here. So let's get to it. Alright, this is where we're at right now. I got the new 7-prong connector on here. Nice molded cable too to protect it. So that goes right here, gets grounded right here on the frame, and then it connects to the old wiring. I am still using the old wiring because I need to add more lights, but I don't have the lights that I need, so I didn't want to run all new wiring and then have to cut it all up and everything. So we are running the old wire for the lights for right now. And then I have a new wire going to the electric brakes. So that's the power coming from the front, from the vehicle, and then the other side of the magnet in there is just grounded to the frame. So that's basically that. I was gonna hook up the rear ones too, but I tested them and this side works, but this side does not. And if I recall correctly, when I picked this up, I took one of the drums off and all the brake components were destroyed. So I'm pretty sure that's the wheel that happened to. So I don't have enough time to actually replace all the stuff in them right now. So I'm kind of on a crunch to get this done. So I'm not hooking up the rear brakes, but we will have at least one axle with brakes. So that's better than nothing. So both the front axle brakes work, so that's really good. And that's pretty much it for the wiring. So everything's hooked up, it should all work. I still need to get a brake controller for my Sequoia. Haven't got that done. It is already wired up from the factory though, so that's nice at least. I just need to get the controller, but I can't buy one online, and all the ones that are in stores are just terrible. They're just garbage. So I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and I found one on there that would work really well, and it was a little cheaper, so I messaged the guy, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So hopefully he'll come through. I still have about 2 more days before I need it, so hopefully I can figure something out. Anyway, I think we're pretty much ready now to put the decking on. So I need to clean up all the tools and everything underneath here, and then we can get the decking put on here and fasten that down, and we'll be good to go. I also, since I don't have any lights on the sides or anything, I only have the tail lights. It's not 100% legal. Well, I have a bunch of reflective tape. Oh, right here. I have this. I have some of these reflective tape things. So I'm gonna put one of these on the sides at least, and then I guess there is a side light back here from the tail light, so I don't really need anything back here. I might put one on the back of the fenders and stuff, and the front of the fenders too. But there's 4 strips in here. It should be enough to get me somewhat legal anyway. At least at night people will be able to see me, and that's all that really matters. So yeah, so with that, we are going to go and get all the boards. They're down in the corn crib. Yeah, they've been down there for quite a while, so hopefully they're still okay and not warped too bad, because I've had them down there. I mean, they've been dry, so they should be fine and not warped, but who knows. Let's go see. We're actually kind of on the back side of the corn crib here. The FJ's on the other side, so I figured it'd be easier to get them from this side. They're sitting right there. I also have all this insulation foam stuff too to deal with, but yeah, I just kind of backed in here and backed over this log here, you know, because that's what you do. So we're gonna stick them all through here. It's nice not having a windshield because you can just shove stuff all the way through, and hopefully we have enough of them. So let's get these all put in. Telling you, not having a windshield is really nice. It's only slightly difficult to drive. Hopefully we can get off of this branch that we're stuck to. Let's see. Oh yeah, not a problem. Well, we were dragging it for a little ways. There's a tree there. Really need to clean up back here. I was gonna mow it, but I popped 2 tires on my tractor, so that was fun. Free. Now we just gotta watch, make sure they don't fall out the back. That happens on occasion. Ugh, there's dirt coming off of them right in my face. That's always fun too. Alright. Beautiful. Looks so good. Just perfect. short. I mean, it looks nice at least. At least I got enough bolts, but I need one more board. We need to get these cut and fastened down, and then I need to go get another board. I decided that the best way to carry it is with this trailer. So I'm gonna get all these boards fastened down first, and then I'm gonna take the trailer and go get the last board that I need. I also figured it'll probably be a good time to test the brakes, test the lights, make sure everything that I've done is okay. Let's get to cutting these boards and getting them fastened down. So here's the hardware I got. They're just zinc plated 1/4 inch carriage bolts, 2.5 inches long, which hopefully are long enough to get all the way through the board and through the metal. I think they will be. So that's what we're doing. So we just need to drill a hole through the wood and through the metal beneath, and stick this through, and then put a nut on the other side. Hopefully it'll be that easy. So we're gonna do 4 spots on each board, so each board will have 8 bolts in it. So that's the goal. Let's see if it'll work. And some of these boards are a little warped, so I have it shoved all the way this way here. So I'll put these bolts in, and then we'll go to the other end and clamp it back to straighten it, and then we'll put the bolts in down there. Alright, we are making some progress. I got 4 boards down here now. It's taken me about 15 to 20 minutes per board now. I just kind of figured out how to get it done, so just gonna finish these off. I'm gonna leave a little gap right in the middle for the board that I need to get, but I actually might not even go get that right now. I might just leave it blank for the moment. That's about it. Let's get the rest of these on here. All the boards are on. I know there's probably a pretty decent sized gap in that cut right there, but I just want to get this done. It wasn't entertaining to watch, I promise you that. It took me 3 hours to get that done. So it yeah, took a little bit of time. Once I got the hang of it, it went pretty smoothly, but just very repetitive. I still haven't gotten the board for the middle, but a 2x6 should perfectly fit in there. I shouldn't have to cut it at all. So I did the 2x8s, 5 on each side, and then we'll do a 2x6 down the middle just to keep it symmetrical, because I know that would probably bug me at some point. So yeah, it's getting pretty much done here. I mean, there's not really much else to do. So I don't know if I'll actually get that middle board on there in time. I might just have to pick that up and do it a different time. I think this will be plenty fine. Well, it's a whole lot better than it was, I guarantee that. The reason I need this is because I just bought 3 more vehicles. I'll just leave it at that. You guys will see what I bought. I got the trailer all hooked up to the Sequoia here. I got the brake controller in, tested everything out. Everything's working great. The trailer looks really nice, all hooked up. I torqued all the wheels, made sure all that was done, checked tire pressure and everything. I also put a sway control on here too, so that might be beneficial once we get a lot of load on here. I'm not going to have it on there while it's just an empty trailer, because I don't see a real point in that, but it'll be nice for when we actually do get some weight on here. It's going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was kind of rushed because I need to get this done pretty quick, but I'm leaving today to go get the vehicles that I kind of hinted at a little bit ago. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.